Welcome back to Time Out with the Sports Doctor podcast, where life, sports, and medicine intersect. We're very glad that you continue to support this podcast. You can get the information on any platform where podcasts are played, as well as getting the video content on YouTube. But if you want to just get one place to find all the content, go to my website at DrDerrick.com, and you will find everything on that website. So without further ado, let's get into this episode. All right, so as you can see, I'm back at the house now from the 7-Figure Speaker Conference, and I just wanted to get on to unpack day 2 and just really give my overall impression about what I experienced over the weekend. Once again, if you've been following this podcast, you know that public speaking is something that I love to do, and it's something that I've been talking about for the last couple of years and really been dabbling in for about the last 5 years. But it's not something that I've had a lot of training on, and it's something that I just do really haphazardly. If someone needs me to come speak to a group of kids, I'm willing to do it. If somebody has a special event and they need a speaker, I'm willing to do it. But have I ever really put myself out as a speaker? Not really. So going to this conference allowed me to see truly the game at the most elite level, right? So we know that there's levels to this game, no matter what game you're playing, whether it's coaching, speaking, as a physician, as a player, there's levels to the competition. So being able to be on the court with the big dogs, being able to see the game played at its highest level was very impactful. And it's something that, like I mentioned, as I was coming home, I made a quick video that says, once you see something, you can't unsee it, right? Once you know that there is another level of living, another level to your career, another level to family, whatever it is, once you've experienced it, you've experienced it. And it's hard to go back. It's similar to 2020 when the world shut down. Prior to 2020, I thought I was fine, right? I thought I was in a sweet spot as an orthopedic surgeon. I thought I'd be able to work, make enough money to provide for the family. My wife's a pediatric dentist. We're good. And then the world shuts down, boom. She's sitting at home for 6 to 8 weeks, completely shut down. Surgery stopping, I think, up to 3 times during that first year. And I was like, wow, I'm not secure the way that I thought. And that was really a flick of a switch at that point. And I really started looking more into the investment, really having multiple streams of income to be able to secure my family, right? So this is another arena that I've been wanting to get in, not even for the money. And I love one of the quotes that was said that day. It says, speak to feed, don't speak to eat. So thank God my bills are paid. So I'm not relying on speaking or relying on anything I do really to be able to take care of my daily needs. And that's a blessing. But day 2 did not disappoint. Day 2 was equally impactful, if not more impactful. And really, as I sat through these 2 days, I did a lot of reflection, a lot of introspection, a lot of really thinking about truly my calling. And I have a great career, no doubt about it. I have a great career, but I have a big calling on my life. And I feel like part of my calling is to show people what's possible, right? I'm a dreamer of sorts, and I want other people to be able to see that they can achieve more than whatever their current situation is. And, you know, if you've been following this podcast, we're here to help you strengthen your mindset, help you grow your assets, and help you achieve whatever level of success and whatever success means to you, because success for you is going to be different for success for me, which is going to be different for the next guy. So I want to just share some of the takeaways from day 2. Started off day 2. They didn't take any time to cut to the main points. As I said, we started off day 1 with talking about, are you a 7-figure person? And then coming out day 2, Coach Crump kicked it off on day 2 because he was the MC for the whole ceremony or for the whole weekend. And he said the first step to being a 7-figure person is stop lying. Stop lying. You know, who are you lying to? More than likely, one of those people are going to be yourself. You have to face the truth. Who are you today and who do you want to be? And the results will come once you're able to fix whatever your problems are. whatever your inadequacies are, you have to face that truth. You cannot deliver what you have not developed. You cannot deliver what you have not developed. Or you can pose to be someone, but if you are not that person, you will get sniffed out after a while, right? It's only so long you can be an imposter before someone is able to figure out who you are. So I thought that was really impactful. No, it's not personal. Many times we're going to hear no. Sometimes you're going to fail, but no is not personal. Like Tremaine Crosby said when he was on here, no is 2 letters, right? And just because you hear it one time doesn't mean that the next time you ask that same question in a different space, the answer might be yes. So then CJ comes up from Secrets to Success podcast. You might know CJ. He's one of the inner circle people with Dr. Eric Thomas. And he really cut straight to the chase. He said, I want you to take out your pencil and write down these 2 words. Nobody cares. And once you truly accept that nobody cares, I felt when he said that it took a lot of pressure off. Because nobody cares how talented you are. Nobody cares how hard you work. Nobody cares what skill set you have. Nobody cares. It's up to you to make them care, right? It's up to you to make them know that you are elite in whatever you're doing. As an athlete, it's up to you to make the impression on the coach that you can play on his team. Because really, if you don't play, somebody else is going to play. So nobody cares. So somebody needs to hear that because you could be in your feelings about whatever is going on and why you're not being seen, why you're not being recognized, but truly nobody cares. You give to something that comes easy to you but hard for most. So I think about when I'm interacting with people. Number one, what comes easy for me? Some things that come easy for me are being able to have people feel comfortable and open up to me. I think that's one gift that I have. Another gift is that when I am in a situation, there's a problem, my mind immediately shifts to where's the solution. I don't dwell on the problem. I try not to get angry by the problem or frustrated by the problem. My mind shifts to where's the solution. I start looking in my mind. I start looking around for where's the solution. What else can we do? Maybe that comes from surgery and the training, but your gift is something that comes easy for you, but difficult for most. We had another panel discussion, but we won't really get into those details. I'm really trying to give you some things that you can apply more to your life. Jeremy Anderson came back on and said, lose the excuses and stay laser focused. Lose the excuses. We all have excuses. One of the most commonly used excuses is time, right? We all have 24 hours in a day, 7 days a week. Some people are more efficient. Some people are not. Some people waste time. Some people don't. But be more focused on what the main things are. Many times, especially in this day and age, I know I can pick up my phone with one thought in mind and never make it to it because it's so easy to get distracted. So we have to stay laser focused on the main thing. Keep the main thing the main thing. Those who are disciplined are those who will dominate. And I think that applies across the board, whether you're as an athlete with working out and recovery, as a doctor for those who really practice your skill and really pay attention to your patients, as a speaker, someone who rehearses it. And another important point that came away was speaking is not an art, right? It is an art form to some extent, but it's a science, just like anything else, just like passing a board exam. If you have a breakdown of what subjects are being tested, you know exactly what to do. They made speaking into a science. They know exactly the game. They know how the game is played, and they are able to break down the game into small, digestible elements so that you can master each element. And that was something that I thought was really awesome because we often think about being passionate, or you see Dr. Eric Thomas on the stage and he's loud and he's passionate and he's in your face. It's an art, but it's a science. And he knows exactly how to move and when to have a high point or when to bring you down, how to land the plane. So I thought that was awesome. And then finally, the keynote speaker, Jamal Secrets to Success, the 9-to-5 Millionaire, a police officer in Chicago who has become wealthy from not only speaking, but also real estate investments. So he gave us 5 steps to make your hope come to life. Number 1, see it. You have to see it first before you can do it, right? Write it down. Things that you write down are easier to believe. And sometimes when you write it down, it might be years later when it actually manifests, and you can go back to see, wow, 2018, I wrote down that I want to do such and such. And now it is truly manifest. And those receipts, as things come to fruition and reality, will allow you to grow your faith. And I think as you look back at your life over things that you might have overcome that seemed impossible, the next time that you're presented with them, you know, wow, I did this before, I can do it again. So see it, write it, imagine it. Are you ready to receive the blessing that you're asking for? I thought that was big, because sometimes we ask for things, but we're not ready to receive them. And if we truly receive them, in the time that we're asking, we'll fumble it, we'll mess it up. It could even destroy us, because you have to be ready to receive what you're asking for. And I feel like that's one of the principles of why many times things that you hope for or even praying for, but you're not completely ready for them at that time. Number 4, speak to it. And then number 5, commit to it. Once you commit to something, be prepared to wait. When you commit to something, it doesn't mean it's going to happen right away. But once you commit to it, you're committed to it. And once you're committed to it, I really feel that it's up to you to make it manifest. And that's going to be an action step, right? So you have to do the work to get the results. So that was pretty much it. Those were some of the key takeaways from the weekend. What's next? I don't know, but stay tuned. Stay tuned for sure. I really feel like it's time for me to get serious about speaking, because I have a story, as I say all the time. I have a story. You have a story. This podcast has been a great platform for me to connect with people. It's a great platform also for me to share my life, share my story. But there's something bigger. I know there's something bigger. I still have this urge to do more. And I feel like this might be the next step. So stay tuned as this unpacks. I promise that you will have a front row seat in whatever develops from this. But hopefully some of these points that I shared with you some of them won't sit well with you, and that's a good thing. But hopefully it will stir you to action, stir you to look at yourself, to try to figure out what more should you be doing, what more can you do to really be the person that God has called you to be. And that, at the end of the day, that's what it's truly about, I feel. All right, be blessed.
Thank you for continuing to support this podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, then please leave a 5-star review. And if you haven't done so, subscribe so you continue to get the updated episode. Until later, peace.
Time out with the sports doctor. Keep our head right in the game. We ain't never stopping. You are now tuned in. Trust you don't want to miss. This is where life, sports, and medicine